almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Good evening. We are live at Herman Brothers Field in the Matsu Valley in Palmer, Alaska. Matsu Miners baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Good evening, everybody. I'm Austin Pollock. Emma Tiedemann to my right, as we will be at home all season. Little overcast here in the valley. Some rain dropping. Not enough to postpone or cancel this game. Not yet. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast for tonight, but it should be a great game, especially coming off of last night's game, a 5-run ninth over at Loretta French Park against the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, and that is who the Miners take on tonight. Let's go right into this, talking about Kyle Serrano, the right-hander from Tennessee yesterday. No decision in the Miners' 6-3 win against the Chinooks. He went 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Looked a little off with his control. He's probably going to work on that with pitching coach Brad Baker in the next couple of days before his next start. But tonight it is Ryan Hendricks, the right-hander from Texas A&M. And for Hendricks, didn't get much. It was a little wild this year. 0-2 with a 7.27 earned run average. 11 appearances, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Was a 17th round pick of the Cleveland Indians in the 2013 Major League Draft. We're experiencing some technical difficulties right now, so we'll step aside and we'll be right back as soon as we can. Thank you very much for being patient. We think we have solved the technical difficulties up here in the booth. So we're talking about Ryan Hendricks, and for Hendricks, it's interesting to see what we're going to see, just because it's his first start of the season, as it would be with anybody else. A new catcher. It is Josh Meyer from Grand Canyon. He'll be behind the plate tonight, not Mitchell Now. I'm a little surprised with manager Ben Taylor's decision to go with Meyer over Now, only because Now is also from Texas A&M, so he's a teammate of Ryan Hendricks. So I thought maybe that there's a little comfort level right there with that. And we're going to get you the starting lineups in just a few moments. It will be first for the visiting Chinooks, but before we do that, we also want to talk about 2 players who there was yesterday's game. We're going to finish that. One player who was very close to being named our player of the game. That was Hayden Howard, also from Texas A&M. 3 innings, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. He was our player of the game runner-up. And redshirted last year. He works fast. He doesn't throw hard either. And when I say he works fast, he works fast. Makes his pitch, gets the ball back, and kind of just keeps going. There's maybe 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 10 seconds in between when he gets the ball back and then his next pitch. He's very, very quick. And then also Sevi Romo came in relief. He sealed the deal. 3 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He's the right-hander from San Diego. He is in the lineup tonight at designated hitter, but he sealed the deal. He came in that 9th inning and was pretty much just lights out in 1, 2, 3 ninth, and that sort of capped off what was a great 9th inning for the Miners. And we could also talk about Nick Senzel, the freshman from the University of Tennessee. Had a big triple in that game. And he was also someone else we were considering for player of the game. He's batting 3rd tonight, playing second base. And then Mitchell Now, there's power in his bat. He's a good hitter. We didn't see much of it yesterday, but kind of have to cut these guys a break. It's been a long. They don't know each other yet. They're still getting accustomed to things up here in Alaska. Maybe the weather. It's a little cold right now. I think Emma is just doing her best to sort of stay warm.
It is quite a difference coming from Dallas, where it's nice and toasty warm, up to Alaska, where it's now 55 and kind of sprinkling. There's a nice cloud cover. Saw the clouds move in over the beautiful mountains outside left field throughout the day, and it's a little chilly.
Yeah, I think it is quite a little chilly. And just talking about some more players, Hunter Simmons was very good on defense. He had a couple of big backhanded grabs at first base. And then also Dane Wunderlich. He is someone we have to mention. He was our player of the game. He was 2 for 3 and scored 2 runs. Boy, he really just kind of had it going.
He really did. He kind of kept the game, kept the team in the game, um, and definitely kept the Miners within range of the Chinooks. You know, things were looking a little rough the very beginning of the game, but Wunderlich did a great job hitting that triple, really getting the team back going, and then in the ninth inning, just 5 runs. That's all you can really say.
No, that's really all you can say. It was a great game for the Miners down in Chugiak, but this is game 2 of a 4-game preseason series between these two teams. And it's the Alaska Airlines preseason series. Yesterday, of course, in Chugiak. Today here in Palmer. Tomorrow back in Chugiak at 7 o'clock. And then Wednesday back here against the Chinooks. That's also at 7 o'clock. We'll get you the starting lineup for the Chugiak Chinooks right now. It's Stephen Pollux. He leads it off in center field. James Navant bats second. He's in left field. Brett Collins bats third in right field. First baseman Kyle Conkle. He really struggled on the mound in the ninth inning yesterday. He bats cleanup at first base. Jackson Kramer bats fifth, the designated hitter. Billy Arndt is the second baseman, and batting seventh is the shortstop Josh Altman. Batting eighth at third base, Nick Cavello. And A.J. Durr does the catching. He bats ninth, and on the mound, you may see it spelled with kind of a lot of letters bunched up and thrown together. It is Danny Pierzeni. Danny Pierzeni. He is the pitcher for the Chugiak Chinooks tonight. And the starting lineup for the Matsu Miners, it's Cameron Frost leading it off in center field from Washington State. Dane Wunderlich bats second. I was not surprised to see him move up in the order. Just such a great game yesterday, and got to move him up. I think he was batting in the 7th hole. And so he bats second in right field from Rice. Nick Senzel bats third at second base from Tennessee. Hunter Simmons in the cleanup spot at first base. He's from Utah. Brandon Smith in left field batting fifth from Grand Canyon. Josh Meyer also from Grand Canyon. He bats sixth. He's behind the plate. Sevi Romo bats seventh, the designated hitter from San Diego. Jordan Rogers in the lineup again at third base. He bats eighth from Tennessee, and Paul Panachone moves from the number 2 spot to the number 9 spot. He's at shortstop from Grand Canyon. As we mentioned, tonight's starting pitcher is Ryan Hendricks. So as you can see, the Miners taking care of some of the pregame ceremonies down on the field, and we'll take you into the whatever's left.
Head coach of the Chinooks, Mr. John Grove. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Matsu Miners. From Tuscaloosa, Washington, leading off your center fielder, number 22, Cameron Frost. Adding second, number 9, out of Brenham, Texas, Dave Wunderlich, right fielder. In the 3 spot, playing second base, number 13, from Knoxville, Tennessee, Nick Senzel. Batting cleanup from Mountain View, California, number 20, first baseman Hunter Simmons. Out of Irvine, California, batting fifth, number 25, left fielder Brandon Smith. Catching and batting sixth, out of Mission Viejo, California, number 24, Josh Meyer. Out of Fullerton, California, number 8, and batting seventh, the DH, Sevi Romo. Batting 8, number 7, playing third base out of Arlington, Tennessee, Jordan Rogers. Batting 9, shortstop out of Peoria, Arizona, number 3, Paul Hanacho. Head coach of the Miners, number 2, Ben Taylor. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise. Remove your head cover, face the flag behind the center field fence, as Matsu Career Technical High School senior Connie Ellington sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dark what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we won, were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Carly. Making his way out to the mound.
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back to the Matsu Valley.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Matsu Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
Hello everybody, I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and we're at Herman Brothers Field for the home opener between the Matsu Miners and the Eagle River Chugiak Chinooks, rather. On the mound today for the Miners is Ryan Hendricks from A&M, and Daniel Perzini for the Chinooks will be on the mound the bottom of the inning. After seeing some great stuff, at least in the 9th inning for the Miners, this should be a very interesting game for Matsu. Have about 55 degrees here in Palmer. Very cloudy, kind of drizzling, kind of threatening to rain, but no huge showers yet. Clouds coming in over the mountains from left field to right field, and some very exciting stuff to see. Dane Wunderlich had such an awesome game yesterday, having a triple, really keeping the team in the game to finally beat the Chinooks in the 9th inning with 5 runs. Austin, what are you looking for in this game?
I really want to see how Ryan Hendricks throws the ball tonight. I'm really excited to watch him pitch. We got to see Kyle Serrano yesterday. Not the best, but definitely was not too bad. Kept his team in it for a chance to win. But I'm really excited to see Hendricks and see what he's got. It wasn't the best year for him over for the Aggies at Texas A&M, but can't wait to see what he's got. I'm also excited to see how Josh Meyer calls a game behind the plate tonight.
And we have the usual kind of will probably be the usual outfield, infield lineup for the Miners. Rogers at third, Senzel at second, Simmons at first. Simmons had a really great game at first yesterday also. Smith in left field, Cameron Frost in center. Got to see his speed yesterday, was chasing down a couple balls, and great hustle by Frost and Wunderlich in third. And first up for the Chinooks, Stephen Pollux playing center field today. High fly ball to just over the shortstop Panchione, but Ryan Smith with the first catch of the day for out number 1. So Ryan Hendricks' first pitch, just a high fly ball, but Hendricks, tall left fielder, able to get there right over the head of Panchione for out number 1. First pitch to James Navant, the left fielder. Ball number 1, a little bit inside. Pitch way outside, ball 2.
Second game in a row, we've seen the first batter swing at the first pitch.
And this pitch, swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. Navant yesterday against the Miners was hit by a pitch by Senzel and then struck out. It was the first strikeout for Hayden Howard. Ball 3 now for Navant. That one hit the low and outside corner.
Hendricks, a little bit of a sort of a sidearm, not quite, a little bit, 3/4.
And that's ball number 4. The first walk of the day. James Navant takes his base. Brett Collins, playing right field, steps up to the plate.
Now batting right fielder number 14, Brett Collins.
Collins, a lefty. Outfield, or left field and check base over there on the first base. But left fielder Ryan Smith and Cameron Frost kind of playing in, while right fielder Wunderlich is a little farther back than the other two. Quick glance to first. Hendricks throws it back to first baseman Hunter Simmons, keeping an eye on Navant, taking a little bit of a lead off first. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Hendricks. Pitch little inside now. Ball 2. Navant still with the lead off of first. 2-0 pitch. Another little high ball there for Hendricks. Now down in the count 3-0.
Cameron Frost playing pretty shallow center field, as is Brandon Smith in left.
.30 pitch. This one hits the strike zone. Just on the outside, so Hendricks back in it. 3-1 now. Navant still with his lead off of first. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled down the first base side, or third base side, excuse me. Now Hendricks down in the count 3-0, battled his way back to a 3-2 count. Quick glance over his shoulder. Navant at first. 3-2 pitch. Outside for ball 4. So that's 2 walks in a row now for Ryan Hendricks. Brings up Kyle Conkle, playing first base this afternoon, or night rather. The sunshine, it throws me off.
It doesn't, the darkness doesn't exist here, so.
So it is 7:07 local Alaska time.
You guys might have to bear with us as we maybe get a little confused with our day and night.
First pitch is a strike by Hendricks. So this evening, Conkle is playing at first base for the Chinooks. Navant and Collins both taking a little lead off their respective bases. Now Meyer and Hendricks kind of meet on the mound, try to kind of reevaluate what's going on after 2 walks in a row for Ryan.
Kyle Conkle was the pitcher in the 9th for the Chinooks yesterday. He got 5 runs, 3 earned. Part of that 5-run night for the Miners.
The 0-1 pitch. And that's strike number 2. Looked a little inside, but umpire called strike. Navant taking quite a few steps off of second base. And Collins doing the same thing at first. This pitch is now in the dirt for ball 1. But Meyer doing a great job of keeping the ball in front of him, making sure it wasn't wild pitch that got behind him.
Cameron Frost now playing a very shallow center field. There's a fly ball. I think he probably wants to make sure he can get the runner at second if he's going to tag for third.
Foul straight back for, well, full count at 2 strikes. 2 strikes, 1 ball.
390 to dead center, 322 down the line, and 342 in the left field alley, 345 in the right field alley.
1-2 pitch. A little bit low for ball 2. And unlike yesterday, there's not a whole lot of wind. Yesterday it was a little windy in the outfield. Flags out in center field seem relatively still. Pitch swung on ground right up the first base side for a single. And the base runners hold up. Navant stays at third, Collins to second. And Conkle with the first hit of the game. Base is now loaded for Hendricks. And this brings up Jackson Kramer. Kramer, the designated hitter this evening. He was walked yesterday once and had 2 flyouts when the Miners visited the Chinooks and Eagle River. Has a very wide open stance on the batting left-handed. Pitch very inside at the knees of Kramer. Conkle is at first, Collins at second, Navant at third. Frost still playing that shallow center field.
Smith is pretty shallow in left, too.
The 0-1 pitch, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Hendricks trying to kind of do some damage control, at least get 1 out. Hopefully strike out Kramer. Count now 1-1. Still scoreless, the top of the first. 1-1 pitch, swung on for strike 2.
This could be a big strikeout for Hendricks. I'm sure he'd also love a double play ball.
1-2 pitch, swung on, strike 3. First strikeout of the game, but Hendricks doing a great job of putting 1 away. Brings up 2 outs. Bases still loaded. And Billy Arndt, second baseman tonight. Now up to bat. He had a single and a ground out, a fly out, and was walked yesterday afternoon against the Miners.
I think Hendricks would really love to just get another out and get out of the inning.
First pitch is a fly ball out the first base side. Oh, 1 pitch. And strike number 2.
Hendricks really learned. He's finding that control. It's been much better after those back-to-back walks to Navant and then Collins, and the single to Conkle.
Navant on third, Collins on second, and Conkle is at first. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. If there was not a fence there, it would have hit the visiting radio station's windows and had some glass in their booth.
Yeah, they're just to the right of us. Had a chance to talk to them before today's game for a while. Very nice guys.
One of them is a Texan, so of course makes him nicer. Foul tip back. And 1 run will score. Hendricks talking to the umpire there at home plate. So James Navant is the runner who scored. Brett Collins advances to third. Kyle Conkle to second. And Billy Arndt at first. Josh Altman playing shortstop tonight. Now up to bat. First pitch is a strike. Altman was hit by a pitch, struck out, and grounded out twice yesterday. He also played shortstop against the Miners yesterday afternoon. The 0-1 pitch, Altman swings and misses for strike 2. Chinooks still lead the Miners 1-0, top of the first. Bases still loaded. 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch, outside, ball 1. Frost in center field. Let's kind of take it a few steps to our right. And everyone else seems to be just about in the same spots. 1-2 pitch, swung on, strike 3. So only 1 run scored, which I guess you can consider that as pretty good, having the bases loaded for 2 batters for Ryan Hendricks. But as we head to the bottom of the first, the Chinooks lead the Miners 1-0. You are listening to Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Miners trailing the Chinooks early in the bottom of the first, 1-0. James Avant made it all around the bases for the first run of the game. And now the Miners have a chance. Cameron Frost, first Miner at the plate. First pitch swung on, fouled back or deep down the first base line. Looked like Collins, the right fielder for the Chinooks, was trying to go for it, but it's definitely out of play. Strike number 1 for Frost. Daniel Perzini on the mound for the Chinooks. The 0-1 pitch. Hit deep down the third base line, and it is foul. It just kind of hooked. It looked like it was going to go fair, but at the last second, it just kind of dropped foul. Frost now down on the count, 0-2.
Sun making an appearance. Doesn't do that in the winter, though.
No, but it does all summer.
All summer.
Still a little bit chilly. It's about 55 degrees. The 0-2 pitch swung on for strike 3.
Not the best at-bat there for Cameron Frost, but he's a good hitter, and he's got a lot of speed. When he gets on base, got any pitcher-catcher combo and the middle infielders, they got to keep an eye on him because there's a very good chance he's going to be off just because he's going to use that speed. He flies around the bases. He really does.
Brings up Dane Wunderlich, who's in second batting position, playing left field, looking to bunt. Said takes the strike for strike 1. Wunderlich, of course, our player of the game yesterday, had a triple and scored a run in the 9th. 2 runs, rather. And even had a broken bat.
He did.
Now down in the count, though, 0-2 against Perzini.
Not time to nominate player of the game yet. Still a little early.
0-2 pitch. And another strikeout called. Wunderlich not too happy about that. Looked a little outside. That's 2 strikeouts in a row for Perzini.
Yeah, it looked like Wunderlich was really a little confused on that. I don't blame him.
Brings up Nick Senzel out of University of Tennessee. Playing second base today. First pitch fouled back very, looks a lot like the foul that Frost had down the first base line. Strike number 1. The 0-1 pitch. Great little weak line drive right over the infield down the first base line for a single for Senzel. After 2 strikeouts, you got to be happy with that.
Absolutely.
Now up to bat, Hunter Simmons playing first base. Simmons was actually walked twice yesterday and also had a single. First pitch by Perzini is a ball on the outside. So he was able to get on base 3 times, but then was caught stealing on one of those times. The 0-1 pitch. Yep, 1-1 now.
I think we can both agree that Hunter Simmons, I can't speak for you, I'm going to speak for myself, but may be one of the friendliest guys I have met.
Definitely one of the friendliest.
In my time in Alaska, it's been, 3 weeks now, one of the nicest guys I have met. I'm sure Ben Taylor loves having a guy like that in his clubhouse.
1-1 pitch. Little high for ball 2. I agree, totally. Very friendly. We had a nice conversation with him about his past season at Utah. And actually, he's rooming with the other hunter on the team, Hunter Rodriguez, and he's very nice too. I think it's something with the hunters.
Something about the name Hunter.
Yeah. Kind of group them together and call them the hunters.
The Hunters. What if they'll do any hunting here in Alaska? Haha, bad joke, right?
You know.
Bad joke.
We are in Alaska, so. 2-1 pitch. And that's strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Daniel Prezini. Or 2. Excuse me. That's strike 2.
It was just Hunter Simmons' reaction.
Yeah.
Kind of caught us both off guard.
And the umpire, too. He was very dramatic about that. And now the throw back to first, trying to catch Sinzel off the base. Sinzel looked like he kind of tripped in the dirt. And he's tagged out at first to end the inning. So a very interesting way to end this first inning. The Miners are down a run, 1-0. Chinooks still lead as we head in the top of the second. You're listening to Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field. Miners still trailing the Chinooks 1-0. Now in the top of the second inning. Ryan Hendricks with kind of a rough start in the first inning. Had walked 2. Swung on foul tip. Walked 2 batters. Struck out 2. Gave up 2 singles, but only 1 run scored. So he did some great damage control, kind of limiting it, especially after he loaded the bases. Nick Cavello now at the plate. And Cavello with the strikeout. Has to be happy with starting the inning with a strikeout, swinging. That's strikeout number 3 so far for Hendricks. Brings up A.J. Durr, the catcher this evening.
That's throwing you off, isn't it?
It really is. It's so light outside.
I think it would be light. Would it be light in Dallas right now? It's 7:30.
Yeah, well, it'll be darker than this though. It'd be going down.
Yeah.
Durr with a big swing fouls it back off the glove of Josh Meyer, the catcher for the Miners this evening. I will get it right this evening. That's strike 2 now for Hendricks. Hendricks doing a lot better than the first inning.
He's actually had 4 straight strikeouts. Struck out the side to end the inning. Not the side, but he struck out 3 straight batters, and then Cavello to start the second.
Another big swing. Foul back off of Meyer. One ball, 2 strikes for Durr. 1-2 pitch. Another foul. This time back behind the first base line. Durr is a sophomore at Point Loma Nazarene University. He hit 32, 320 this season. He is from Turlock, California.
I have to say, I don't know where that is.
I don't know either, but there are quite a few Californians, I think, in the Alaskan League total.
No, I know my California geography a little bit.
Another foul ball back by Durr.
A little bit. I mean, I know that San Diego is south of Los Angeles, and San Francisco is near Oakland, and that's about it. Anaheim is kind of near L.A. Kings in the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
I think they won.
Today?
I gotta check. Yes, beat the Rangers. Have a 3-0 lead.
Full count now for Hendricks. Pitch out. Oh, it's actually a strike. That is strikeout number 4 for Ryan. Back to the top of the order with Stephen Pollux. Had a fly out to left field in the first inning.
Five straight strikeouts for Hendricks.
First pitch is a ball by Hendricks. Another ball. Now count is 2-0 to Stephen Pollux. 2-0 pitch. That one's a strike. Stephen Pollux is a sophomore out of Westmont College. Short chopper to Hunter Simmons at first base. Waves off Hendricks, and that's out number 3 for the Miners. Head to the bottom of the second inning. Miners still trail the Chinooks 1-0. You're listening to Miners Radio Network. Starting things off at the bottom of the second inning for the Matsu Miners, Hunter Simmons. Miners were scoreless in the first. They still trail the Chinooks 1-0. First 2 pitches to Simmons are balls. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch in the dirt for ball 3.
Hendricks looked much, much better in that top half of the second inning. Much better.
3-0 pitch to Simmons. A little bit on the outside corner for strike number 1. Simmons, a patient batter, showed that yesterday with being walked twice. Got on base 3 times, had a single. Now check swing, full count, 3-2.
Yeah, that was quick.
Daniel Preseni working the count, battling back from 3-0. It's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on, foul back behind the first base line. Three-two pitch. Another foul. Right about at the same time, same place. Behind the first base dugout, which the Miners are at.
Another ABL action. The Bucks have a 1-0 lead over the Pilots, and the Oilers have a 1-0 lead over the San Francisco Seals. No, they are not part of the Alaska Baseball League. They play in San Francisco.
And Preseni's 3-2 pitch goes into the dirt for ball 4, and Hunter Simmons takes his base. He is the first man walked by Preseni. Brandon Smith, the left fielder for the Miners this afternoon, steps up to the plate. Smith grounded out to short yesterday, was struck out, and had a single, and scored a run.
Pierzeni has thrown 18 pitches, 13 strikes, 6 balls.
First pitch is a little high for ball 1.
We got to correct that. 14 strikes, 6 balls, 20 pitches. Our system's a little slow here.
1-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled.
That hit
Hit the
press box. If you didn't hear it, that was loud. Even Josh Meyer on deck wanted to see what happened with that one.
Count now 1-1. Simmons with a little lead off at first. He was caught stealing yesterday. This ball right in the strike zone for strike 2. Count is 1-2. Simmons at first. Here's the pitch. Outside in the dirt. And A.J. Durr, the catcher for the Chinooks, keeps it in front of him and keeps an eye on Simmons, who might have thought about taking second but decided to stay at first. This time, Preseni throws back to first baseman Conkle. Kind of keep Hunter Simmons in check over there. Preseni, a right-handed pitcher. Pitch to Smith. High fly ball to right field and is able to drop right in front of Collins, the right fielder. Brings Simmons to second and Smith to first on the single. Brings up catcher Josh Meyer.
Second hit for the Miners off Danny Pierzeni. First at-bat coming up for Josh Meyer. Josh Meyer from Grand Canyon just finished up his freshman year. 6'3", 205 pounds. Started 28 games for Grand Canyon.
First pitch to Meyer is a ball. Chinooks lead the Miners 1-0 at the bottom of the second inning. Still overcast skies. I think it stopped raining. Swung on, foul ball down the third base side. But I don't think you'd call that raining. It was more drizzling, kind of thinking about raining, but decided to hold off.
Yeah.
No showers or anything like that.
Really nothing serious. Nothing that was going to put this game or the start in jeopardy. Nothing.
One pitch to Meyer. Low for ball 2.
1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Chinooks, and no runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Miners.
Two-one pitch. High and way inside. Now 3 balls, 1 strike.
Hitters count. Nobody out and 2 runners on. Pretty decent crowd here, despite the temperature and the weather.
3-1 pitch. And that's strike number 2. Presini doing a pretty good job of battling his way back after being down in the count. Did the same thing with Simmons. Down in the count 3-0. Came to a full count, but ended up walking him. Another swing by Meyer, fouls it back.
This could be a pitcher's game.
Miners would love to maybe load up the bases in this situation with a walk or just get a single by Meyer. Still no outs, though. Three-two pitch. And it's a foul ball down the third base side, and that's out of play. Had a little power behind it, though, so Meyer's showing his strength.
If foul ball does damage to your car, go visit the folks at Napa Auto Parts with locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com.
Three-two pitch. Swung on by Meyer right up the middle. Simmons rounds third. Actually, he's deciding to hold up. And this bad throw down the third base side, almost into the dugout. Simmons slides into home. And we have runners at second and third and 1 run scored. So that evens things up at 1 run apiece for the Chinooks and the Miners. Off of a rough throw by, I believe that was Arndt. Threw it past the third baseman, Cavello, on the third base line, right in between home plate and third base. Almost made it into the dugout, actually, the third base side. So Brandon Smith now at third base, and Josh Meyer reached second on an error. Sevi Romo, designated hitter this evening for the Miners. Pitched a few innings in the end of the game yesterday, though. First pitch to Romo is a strike. So we're seeing a very different inning than we did in the first from Daniel Presini. Had 2 strikeouts to lead it off, and then had a single by Senzel as Romo fouls one back. But Senzel was caught off the base at first and was tagged out. And that ended the first inning for Presini. But now, in the second inning, he's walked a batter, had a single, and now a double off of an error. And big swing by Romo. And that's the 3rd strikeout by Presini. Brings up Jordan Rogers, the third baseman out of Tennessee.
Number 7, Jordan Rogers.
Rogers yesterday had a single, grounded out twice, and had a fly ball to center field. First pitch outside, ball 1. Brandon Smith at third base. Josh Meyer at second. And this pitch by Brazini way inside for ball 2. Two-zero pitch inside for ball 3. So Brazini again down in the count, 3-0. He's been in this position now 3 times this inning. And that is ball 4 for Jordan Rogers as Brazini loads the bases. Rogers on third, Meyer on second, and Smith on third. Paul Panachone batting ninth this evening, playing shortstop. And A.J. Durr, the catcher for the Chinooks, heading out to the mound to talk with Brazini, along with coach for the Chinooks.
Hey folks, the Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors
Have a little meeting before Panachone takes some pitches. Panachone also played shortstop yesterday. He had a fly out to right field, a ground out to the pitcher, and was part of the 6-4-3 double play by the Chinooks. Again, the bases are loaded, 1 out. The bottom of the second, Miners and Chinooks tied at 1 apiece. And the first pitch to Panachone is outside for ball 1. Pitch a little inside, but strike is called. Evens the count at 1. One pitch. Just inside the strike zone for strike 2. Short ball right over the second base, and Brandon Smith will score. And Panachone with a single advances all the runners, and the bases are still loaded. Josh Meyer now at third, Jordan Rogers at second, and Paul Panachone at first. Brings us back to the top of the order with Cameron Frost. Only 1 out so far in the bottom of the second inning. Cameron Frost struck out in the first inning. First pitch to Frost is a little outside, called the strike anyway. Oh, 1 pitch. Swung on, chopper right through the hands of Cavello, the third baseman, into left field. And Meyer will score, and Jordan Rogers comes up behind him for 2 more runs for the Miners. Paul Panachone advances to second base, and Frost with the single. Great ball placement by Cameron. Right over the infield, right in front of Navant, the left fielder. It's what we kind of call a Texas leaguer, right over the infield. 2 runners on. The pitch to Dane Wunderlich, who was our player of the game yesterday and had outstanding hitting. Don't know what he can do now. Still only 1 out. Little inside for ball 1. Dane in the first inning was struck out. But it seems that the Miners are having a little bit of an easier time hitting off of Preseni than in the first. Preseni's pitch low and outside for ball 2. Two one pitch. Big swing by Dane. And that's 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Miners are up 4-1 now against the Chinooks. Two-two pitch is high fly ball down the right field line. And it is out of play. Foul ball. Two-two pitch. Runners go. Stealing third is Panachone, and he is safe at third along with Frost, who stole second. So Frost able to show his speed running from first to second, but Panachone quick on the start from second to third. And third base, really tough to steal compared to second. You have a longer throw to second base as a catcher versus just down the third base line. Full count now to Dane. Chopper to second baseman Arndt. And Arndt throws Wunderlich out at first. Second out of the inning. I think that Daniel Preseni hopes ends very soon.
Your second baseman, number 13,
Nick Senzel, who had a great single right over the first base infield over second baseman Billy Arndt in the first inning, but then was tagged off the first base bag to end the first inning also. It's kind of bittersweet. He made it to first base, then was tagged out. First pitch to Senzel is a strike. Paul Panachone on third base and Cameron Frost at second. 2 outs. One 1-0 pitch. A little high and inside for ball 1. One pitch. Senzel another fly ball to short center field. This time Pollux, the center fielder for the Chinooks, able to catch it. And that ends the inning for the Miners, but not without doing some damage first. The Miners lead the Chinooks 4-1 as we head into the third inning. You are listening to Miners Radio Network.
they've got some red ticket drawings. Get those red tickets out that you got when you came to the ballpark.
Top of the third inning. Here at Herman Brothers Field, a 4-run second for the Miners. Ryan Hendricks back out there. James Navant, he walked and scored his first time up. Count is 1-1. Back up the middle, off of Hendricks and into center field for a base hit. I don't think it actually hit Hendricks. I think it kind of just went right through his legs. But second time that Navant has reached. Second hit for the Chinooks.
Now batting right fielder number 14, Brent Collins.
Here is Brett Collins. He walked but was stranded at third back in the first. He takes a called strike from Hendricks. James Navant scored a run yesterday against the Miners. He's got a count of 0-2. Oh, 2 from Hendricks. That's high, 1-2. Lifted out to center, and there is Cameron Frost to make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting first baseman number 24, Kyle Conkle.
I'll bring up Kyle Conkle. He singled in the first inning. Hard grounder, under glove of Rogers into left field, a base hit. Navant will stop at second with a wide turn. So 2 for 2. Kyle Conkle, he's got 2 singles. I'll bring up Jackson Kramer. He struck out in the first. If you remember, in the first, this was the first 4 batters were a little rough for Ryan Hendricks. Navant walked, Collins walked, Conkle singled. But then Kramer struck out. Lefty batter pitch from Hendricks is in the dirt, but Meyer can't scoop it up, and the runners will advance. Want to know the count on Kramer. Runners in scoring position at second and third. 1 away in the top of the third as Kramer swings and misses. The count is even at 1-1. One. Up and in, but doesn't get Kramer. He got out of the way. 2-1 as Josh Meyer will go out and chat with Ryan Hendricks. Two and one, the count on Kramer. One away runners at second and third, and Kramer waves and misses. 2-2. Couple guys standing in the Miners bullpen. Nobody tossing, stretching. It's all Hendricks right now. 2-2 to Kramer. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Ryan Hendricks. That is number 6. He struck out 5 in a row. Struck out the side in the first. Struck out Kramer, Billy Arndt, and Josh Altman, and then Nick Cavello, A.J. Durr in the second. And now Kramer strikes out for the second time as Billy Arndt sends one to the right side and foul. It's behind the Miners dugout. A lot of kids giving chase. Fans in the first base bleachers and lined up over by the bullpen. And a couple on the third base side. 0-1. Fouled off by Billy Arndt. Oh, and 2, the count on Billy Arndt. 2 runners in scoring position. I'm sure Hendricks would love a strikeout here. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Ryan Hendricks. Number 7 on the night. Strands 2 runners in scoring position, and it's still a 4-1 game here in Palmer. Miners lead it 4-1 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Back here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, 4-1 Miners. We head for the bottom of the third inning. There's a new pitcher for the Chinooks. It is Ryan Harris, the right-hander from Cornerstone. Finished his sophomore year, was 2-5 with a 7.48 earned run average in 9 appearances, 27 2/3 innings pitched, and his first pitch to Hunter Simmons is inside for ball 1. Harris, 6'2", 195 pounds, walked 29 batters in those 27 2/3 innings pitched. Let's see how he does here tonight. And the 1-0 is up high, 2-0 to Simmons. Let's see, Simmons, Brandon Smith, and Josh Meyer, all 3 reached base and scored in the second inning. Part of that 4-run inning. Way outside, 3-0 to Simmons. We know that he is a patient hitter. We saw it yesterday. Had 2 walks. And scored a run. 3-0. And they're called strike. Ryan Harris says his favorite player is Chris Sale from the White Sox. On the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So down from 3-0, works it full.
Hunter Simmons definitely thought that was a ball as he started to take his base.
3-2 is outside just a little bit, but he works a walk. Second time he's been on, second walk of the game. That's his 4th this season already.
Now batting, your left fielder, number 25, Brendan Smith.
So he's walked 4 times. It's already quite impressive. Patient hitter. He's on first. Here's Brandon Smith. He singled and scored in the second. Pitch from Harris is way outside in the dirt, and they're going to get Simmons. They will not. He was really far off that base.
Durr's throw kind of went into the dirt to Conkle, and Conkle was already really far off first base for some reason, ahead of it towards home plate down that first base side.
Yep.
Simmons got a little lucky.
That pitch pretty much landed just to the right of home plate, maybe before it even hit home plate, but Durr was able to scoop it up, and I think Simmons thought it was going to get away. Pitch to Smith is popped up into shallow right. There is Billy Arndt, the second baseman, makes the catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Josh Meyer, catcher from Grand Canyon, singled and scored in the second. He singled and then advanced to second on an error by the second baseman, Billy Arndt. Sevy Romo waits on deck, 1 away. Simmons at first, pitch to Meyer is up and in, ball 1. Looks to be action in the Miners bullpen. It's a left-hander. Pitch to Meyer, hard grounder to short. There is Altman, flips to Arndt on to first, a double play. 6-4-3. So much, a very good inning for Ryan Harris. The Miners get nothing. They still lead it 4-1 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Hey folks, if you are the proud owner of the 80 black Chevy truck, 3994CE, license plate 3994CE. Hope you have a good battery. Your lights are on. Again, Chevy truck, black 3994CE. Your lights are on.
Back here for the top of the 4th inning at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer. 4-1 Miners, and there's a new pitcher. It is Hunter Rodriguez, the lefty from Utah. Just finished his sophomore year, 6'4", 220. There's a 4-seam fastball that'll sit upper 80s to the low 90s, a changeup in the upper 70s, and a cut fastball, as well as a curveball. Josh Altman, Nick Cavello, and A.J. Durr, 7-8-9 for the Chinooks. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Chinooks. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Miners. First pitch from Rodriguez is in there, a called strike. Hunter Rodriguez, no record at Utah this past season, 4.76 earned run average in 5 appearances, 8 hits and 5 2/3, 4 walks, 4 Ks. 0-1 to Altman. Inside ball 1, 1-1.
Talking to Hunter before practice and before the season got started, he wants to work on being both mentally and physically. He said working on that in Alaska. Wants to be more of an aggressive kind of pitcher.
1-1. That is foul right at home plate. Thought maybe it got the home plate umpire. All seems to be good down there. Cameron Frost still playing a shallow center field. It's a big outfield here at Herman Brothers, though. 1-2. Inside, 2-2. They seem to be setting up inside because everything's been inside. Two from Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Hunter Rodriguez. There's 1 away in the top of the 4th.
Good way to start your Miners career for the season with a strikeout.
Nothing wrong with that. Kind of looked like Altman's swing was not exactly a golf swing, but in a way, a little bit of a golf swing. Just an ugly swing. Here is Nick Cavello. He struck out in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Rodriguez is little high ball 1. Outside part of the plate, 1-1. The line is done on Ryan Hendricks. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. 7. Pretty good number.
Yeah.
1-1.
After
Out.
3 innings? Yep.
Yep. Last pitch outside, 2-1. That sun is shining quite bright, I would say. 2-1. Sliced off and foul over by the Chinooks dugout. Line also done on Danny Pierzeni for the Chinooks. 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Two. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Hunter Rodriguez. That is already the 9th strikeout for Miners pitching.
Head coach Ben Taylor has to be happy with that.
Absolutely. That's getting close to what it was yesterday, but yesterday that was 9 innings. Here we're only through 3 2/3. Here is A.J. Durr, the catcher. First pitch is sliced foul. What did he do his last time up? It was in the 2nd inning, and he struck out. Kyle Serrano had 3 strikeouts yesterday. Sevi Romo had 3. And Hayden Howard had 5. That's 11. A 1 is high to Durr, 1-1. Cameron Frost is a couple steps toward right center. And Brandon Smith, the left fielder, also playing shallow. Infielders at the shortstop and second base position on the line between the infield and outfield, right on that grass. Second pitch to Durr was high, 2-1. Two one to Durr. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Hunter Rodriguez just a strike away from striking out the side. Now, Hunter Rodriguez represented the West in the 2006 Little League World Series. He's been playing for a while. 2-2 to Durr. High, 3-2, full count. Three-two coming from Hunter Rodriguez. Here it is. Twisted foul behind the Miners dugout. Fans give chase.
The last time A.J. Durr was at bat, he struck out but had a full count and hit at least 4 foul balls before he went out swinging.
He's doing the same thing here. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hunter Rodriguez strikes out the side. 10 strikeouts for Miners pitching, another 0 on the board. It's 4-1 Miners as we head for the bottom half of inning number 4 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Back here at Herman Brothers Field, 4-1 Miners, leading the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. I'm Austin Pollock, Evan Tiedemann to my right. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Miners, Sevi Romo, Jordan Rogers, and Paul Panachone. First pitch to Sevi is high ball 1. One out to Romo is fouled back right over us. In other Alaska Baseball League action, of course, the Miners lead the Chinooks 4-1 here at Herman Brothers Field. Over at Mulcahy in Anchorage, the Pilots lead the Bucks 2-1. And at Coral Seymour Park in Kenai, the Oilers have a 2-0 lead over the San Francisco Seals as Romo fouls one again right back toward us. Over us, I should say. Jordan Rogers waits on deck. 1-2. Breaking ball low, 2-2. Ryan Harris is out there for his second inning of work. We've got to talk about the top of the fourth for Hunter Rodriguez. In the dirt to Romo. Count will run full 3-2. Scooped up by Durr. Hunter Rodriguez, 1 inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, but 3 strikeouts. That's 10 overall, adding to the 7 from Hendricks in his 3 innings of work. 10 strikeouts. Only 11, I shouldn't say only, but 11 for the Miners yesterday. Ground ball to the right side, the second baseman, Billy Arndt. Throw sidearm to first to the first baseman, Kyle Conkle, for out number 1. Or bring up Jordan Rogers. He walked and scored in the second, part of a 4-run inning for the Miners.
Your third baseman, number 7, Jordan Rogers.
Jordan Rogers from the University of Tennessee was 0 for 3 yesterday against the Chinooks. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. Jordan Rogers says he models his game after Derek Jeter. Why not? Certainly a good one to model your game after. 1-0. Up and in, 2-0. Rogers and the Tennessee Volunteers fell 1 game short of regionals. And it says he wants to work on his defense and hitting the ball to the opposite field with power. 2-0, that is inside. 3-0. Rogers was also the number 4 shortstop in high school in the state of Tennessee by perfect game. Playing third base tonight. 3-0 is in there, a called strike right over the heart of the plate.
Jordan was walked in 4 straight pitches. Last his bat.
3-1 is floated into right field, a base hit. Right over the head of the second baseman, Billy Arndt. Said he wanted to work on hitting the ball opposite field. He did right there. His first hit in the Alaska Baseball League, and we go to the number 9 man in the order, Paul Panaccione. Singled in the second, stole third base, but he advanced to second on a single by Cameron Frost. He did not score. He was left on. Check on Rogers. He's back. Cameron Frost from Washington State waits on deck. First pitch to Panaccione shows bunt, but it's low, ball 1. Yesterday when there was a foul ball at Loretta French, there was a sponsor for every foul ball. And the fans, they did like yay something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Inside, and it hits Panaccione. Up to second goes Jordan Rogers.
Like if it was an ad to call, say, for example, Kirk Smith about something. They'd all go,
Kirk.
yay, Kirk.
Here they don't do that. This, of course, this is our first game at the home field of the Miners, Herman Brothers. Jordan Rogers at second. Paul Panaccione was hit by a pitch. He's at first. To the top of the order, it's Cameron Frost. He's 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, singled, and stole a base in the second. 1 away, runners at first and second. Pitch from Harris is low for ball 1. Dane Wunderlich, the outfielder from Rice, he waits on deck. He's 0 for 2. Miner, you can follow us on Twitter at ABL Miners. We just reached 100 followers this morning.
Yay, Twitter.
Yay, Twitter. 1-0 from Harris. High fly ball toward deep right. Back goes Navant, and Pollux, it'll get down. Here comes Rogers. He is waved around. Here comes Panaccione. He's going to try to score as well. Throw is cut off. 2-run score. 6-1 Miners. 2-run double for Cameron Frost. Boy, he has been hitting the ball very well. A single in the second. He also had a big game yesterday. He had a double first pitch of the game. Absolutely smoked that ball. Not a guy with a lot of power. He's a leadoff guy. Not many leadoff guys have a lot of power, more just contact and speed on the bases, but I hear that Mulcahy Field in Anchorage, the balls just fly out of that park. I think if the team was there, then that could have been gone. First pitch to Wunderlich is outside for ball one. They also have to remember that Cameron Frost has speed at second base, and with one out and a good hitter in Wunderlich, he may try to steal third. Try to tack on another run for the Miners. 1-0. In the dirt. Dirt can't have it. And up to third goes Cameron Frost. Give that a wild pitch. The count on Wunderlich. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a groundout. Pitch, hard grounder to third, snagged by the third baseman. Cavello throws across the diamond to Conkle for out number 2. That'll bring up Nick Senzel. He singled in the first inning and was picked off.
Now batting your second baseman, number 13, Nick Senzel.
But Nick Senzel yesterday was 1 for 4 and had a triple to right center. That one got all the way to the wall at Loretta French.
We were able to see 2 triples yesterday.
It's very rare that you see one. That's lifted out to right. Couple steps for Collins, makes the catch to retire the side. A big 2-run double for Cameron Frost. The Miners add on to their lead. It's 6-1 Matsu as we head for inning number 5 here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock as the Miners take the field. Hunter Rodriguez still on the mound for the Miners. Had an excellent 4th inning to kind of as his debut on the mound. Had 3 strikeouts, faced 3 batters, sent them all back to the dugout with strikeouts in the book. And Stephen Pollock's starting things off for the Chinooks. Back to the top of the order, we'll see Pollock, Navant, and Collins. The first pitch by Rodriguez, a little outside for ball 1.
You're probably going to laugh at me, but I'm a little cold.
Oh, okay, Boston.
Yeah, a little cold.
Swung on right up the middle of the field. Great snag by Senzel, able to make the throw in time by to Simmons at first. That's out number 1. Been giving me all sorts of heck all week for being a little chilly.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Alaska is chilly.
It is. I mean,
And today.
it's a little cold. It is.
Today was kind of extra cold because we had a nice cloud cover coming over the mountains, and I think that makes it even colder when they come off the mountains.
We were inside all day. Well,
True.
you were out for a little bit.
First pitch to Navant. The ball. But now the sun's coming out. So it looks a little nicer out on the field.
Yeah, at 8:29 Alaska time at night, you'd think maybe it'd start to get dark. No, it's just getting brighter.
2 balls, no strikes. Pitched by Rodriguez, a little high for ball 3. Now down in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike, excuse me. Navant was walked in the first inning and had a double in the second. And that's ball number 4. As Navant heads to first base. Rodriguez and Meyer, the catcher. Meyer kind of walks the ball out to Rodriguez. Say a couple words. And that brings up Brett Collins, the right fielder for the Chinooks. He was also walked in the first inning and had a fly out to center field. Swung on, ground ball to third. Rogers to Senzel at second. Back to Simmons at first, and it's a double play for the Miners. That ends the inning as that brings up the Chinooks. The Miners go and grab their bats. You're listening to Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Miners still lead the Chinooks 6-1. Hunter Simmons at the plate. Little outside for Simmons, 1 ball, 1 strike. New catcher instead of A.J. Durr, Mark Lindsay is behind the plate.
Mark Lindsay was the starter in yesterday's game.
1-2 count now for Simmons. Little low, ball 2. Two-two pitch, check swing, and Simmons called for swinging. That's a strikeout. Left fielder Brandon Smith now walks up to the plate. Smith had a single in the second inning, leading to a run, and then is not able to get past the glove of Billy Arndt, playing second base in the third inning. First pitch is a strike. Smith thinking about it. Umpire calls strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes.
Ryan Harris also a very quick worker.
The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball right over the infield, able to drop in right center field. Smith going for second base, and second baseman Billy Arndt not able to catch it as Smith slides into second base. The ball went off of Arndt's glove, and Smith takes 2 bases.
When the Miners really just hitting the ball, that is the 8th hit.
Now batting your catcher, number 24, Josh Meyer.
Brings up Josh Meyer, the catcher for the Miners tonight. Able to hit a double in the second inning after an error, and able to score that inning also. Lindsay, the catcher, kind of losing track of the pitch there. First pitch was a ball to Meyer.
Meyer the Miner.
Meyer the Miner. Yeah.
Can we work with that?
I think we could, yeah, we could do some stuff with that. Quick throw back to second base to catch Smith with a little leadoff, but he is safe. Quick feet there by Smith to jump back to second base and slide right in to be safe. It's the 1-0 pitch to Meyer the Miner. And that's strike number 1.
I wasn't expecting that. To see what he thinks about that.
Yeah, I think he'd like it.
I'd like it if
That
my
has a
last
nice-
name was Meyer.
Meyer. Has a nice ring to it. 1-1 pitch. Strike number 2. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on by Meyer, but this one is going to be hooked left for a foul ball.
Into the woods. Hope it didn't hit a moose.
Moose is a sore subject with me. I still haven't seen one. I thought I saw one today, but it was a tree trunk.
That's not the first time that's happened.
No. The 1-2 pitch. A little outside for ball 2.
You'll see one.
Well, see, the tree trunks, I don't know the size of a moose, so I think it's pretty big, about the size of a tree trunk. So
Like 1,200 pounds.
yeah, like they're taller than horses, right? They're like 8 feet tall.
They're just kind of fat.
Another throwback to second base, trying to catch Brandon Smith. This time no go again. Smith safe at second.
They've just got a big body, but they're not really that tall.
Oh, see, I thought they had long legs.
They do, but I don't know about a horse. A horse might be a little bigger, I think.
Okay. 2-2 pitch, high and inside, ball 3.
See, the first moose I saw was about, I'd say about 2.5 weeks ago, and I think it was a female.
So maybe she was smaller.
She might have been.
3-2 pitch. Meyer the Miner goes out swinging for strikeout number 2 of the inning.
Just the third time a Miner has struck out. Not Meyer, a Miner. As in anybody in the lineup.
Now batting your DH number 8, Sevi.
Brings up Sevi Romo, the designated hitter this evening. He struck out in the second inning, then grounded out to Billy Arndt in the fourth.
My mistake. That was the fourth strikeout for Harris. I'm sorry, fourth strikeout for minor hitters.
First pitch to Romo, very inside. It almost looks like he grazed his elbow.
All right, we got one more correction. The fifth strikeout. So we go from what, 3 to 5?
I have 5.
I've got 5 now.
5 will be the official number of strikeouts so far by the Miners.
It's fun to make fun of some screw ups.
Big swing by Romo, strike number 2. One ball, 2 strikes for Romo. Brandon Smith still hanging out there in second base. Still taking a lead after being attempted to be thrown out at second twice. Harris throws another ball a little high and inside to Romo. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I did think that was going to be strike 3. I thought that was good breaking ball.
Joined now in the booth by a mosquito.
Oh, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
2-1 pitch, swung on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Mark Lindsay, catcher for the Chinooks, head out to the mound to talk to his pitcher, Ryan Harris.
You can also let us know how we're doing. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. There's no hyphen in Matsu. All letters. matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. You can also tweet at us at ABLMiners.
You only get 180 characters, though.
I thought it was 140.
140.
What is it? Is it 140?
I think it's 140.
So if you have a lot to say,
Yeah.
Send us an email.
You're limited on Twitter. But we did enjoy receiving emails and tweets yesterday.
Yes.
And got through the milestone of 100 followers.
I think that got him.
Yeah, last pitch by Harris hit Romo. At least from this angle it looked like he did.
I think it did.
Hit by a pitch, Romo takes first base. Brandon Smith still at second. Brings up Jordan Rogers, the third baseman. He was walked in the second and scored, and had a single in the fourth inning and also scored. So he scored 2 runs. The only Miner to do that so far this evening. And again a throwback to second. Smith now 3 for 3 with sliding back into second after taking a lead. And Harris and Altman just trying their hardest to get Brandon Smith out. Altman now takes some more steps towards third. And a big hit by Jordan Rogers down the third base line. Going at the wall. Navant not able to catch it as it drops. Brandon Smith scores. And Sevi Romo rounds the bases as well. And Jordan Rogers with a big double for the Matsu Miners. Two runs scored in this 5th inning for the Miners after having 2 strikeouts. Simmons and Meyer both struck out, but Smith, Romo, and Rogers all able to reach the bases. Miners now lead 8-1 over the Chinooks. Kind of opposite of what we saw yesterday. Chinooks getting the early start and the Miners having to play catch up in the 9th inning, but proved to be no problem after they scored 5 runs to take the win over the Chinooks. But now, this evening, Miners with the early start, and they haven't stopped.
That mosquito's really bothering you, isn't it?
Well, it's gone now.
Enough said.
Paul Panachone at the plate for the Miners. Had a single in the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, and now has a 1-1 count with Rogers at second. 1-1 pitch, high fly ball to center field. Pollock's able to catch it to end the inning, leaving Rogers on base, but not without some damage done. 2-run score, and the fifth inning, the Miners lead the Chinooks 8-1 as we head into the sixth. Hope you stay with us. You are listening to Miners Radio Network.
Back here in Palmer, 8-1 Miners lead the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And Hunter Rodriguez is back out there. Kyle Conkle, Jackson Kramer, Billy Arndt. 4, 5, and 6 against Rodriguez, and he has pitched very well. 0-1 is low, 1-1. One from Rodriguez. Back over the hill. Charging his Panachone. Throws off balance to first in time. Hunter Rodriguez's body, as he's a lefty, shifted more toward the third base side. That's where momentum took him after the pitch. So he got out of the way, but that was right over the rubber. Eight runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Miners. Here is Jackson Kramer. On the outside part of the plate, fastball, strike one. Ball one. 1-1. Up and away, 2-1. There is some action in the Miners' bullpen. Looks to be right-hander Vince Arobio from Pacific. 2-1 slapped foul. 2-2. And I could tell you that my eyesight isn't always the best.
I have some binoculars.
We've got 2 pairs, actually.
Mine are pretty snazzy. My cousin let me borrow them.
Oh, which one do we use?
I don't know. Mine are nice.
That was one of the first things that Pete Christopher said to me when I walked in this press box for the first time. Hard grounder, underglove of Rogers in the left field, a base hit for Jackson Kramer. He was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Sends one the other way into left for a base hit.
Now batting second baseman number 9.
One of the first things that Pete had said to me was, Austin, look, we've got some binoculars for you. And at first I thought that was an insult because of my poor eyesight. Well, that one's going to hit Billy Arndt in the foot. He squared for bunt. And I think it just got him right on the foot or the knee. My guess is the foot. If it was the knee, he wouldn't be trotting down to first base so easily, but he's there as first and second. With one out for Josh Altman, the shortstop. I usually need glasses to see distance. But like numbers.
I have the same problem.
Yeah, like in a lecture, in a big lecture hall, if there's a PowerPoint. First pitch is upstairs to Josh Allman, 0 for 2. Pair of strikeouts. Lectures at school, that's the tough one.
I had a lecture class, and he didn't write anything down on the board, so I didn't have a problem. I just had to sit and listen to him lecture. Didn't have to wear my glasses.
I also have some selective hearing, so.
Well, that's a whole different kind of problem.
But I will listen to any comments from our listeners. Because there you did just see a pickoff attempt from Rodriguez, but runner at second base, Jackson Kramer, is back with no difficulty. You can tweet at us at ABL Miners. Let us know what you think. Send us an email, MatsuMinersBroadcast@gmail.com. That 1-0 pitch is a little up and in to Josh Altman, 2-0. Rodriguez sets. Here's his pitch. Slow roller at the first base line. Meyer was going to pick it up, throw it to first. They get the out there. Runners advance. Kramer to third, Arndt to second. Mark that a 2-3 putout. And two-way for, we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Jeff Murphy. He came into the game yesterday.
Number 17, Jeff Murphy.
From Boston College, the Eagles. There's nothing better than going to Boston College basketball games and football games growing up as a kid. First pitch is slapped foul just to the right of us.
Someone waiting in the concession stand line probably caught that one.
Most likely.
That or it's in the bathrooms by now.
That might not be good. 0-1 to Murphy. Up and in, 1-1. Jeff Murphy was hitless in his time in the lineup yesterday. Has a 1-1 count with 2 outs. And the first pitch, third pitch. All over the place today. 2-1. Vince Arrobio has stopped warming. Pitch to Murphy inside, 3-1. But just as I say that, there's someone who starts warming on the mound. And I think Emma's going to reach for those binoculars.
Get out my binoculars. See who's
She
warming
is.
up.
Pitch to Murphy. Slapped foul. Off to the right, over behind the Miners dugout near the clubhouse. 2-2. The foul ball does damage to your car. Go visit the folks at Napa Auto Parts with locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. 2 strikes on Josh Meyer. Correction, Jeff Murphy. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for Hunter Rodriguez. Number 4 for him, 11th for Miner pitching. He works out of a jam with runners on second and third. 8-1 Miners. We head for the bottom half of inning number 6. Right here on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Becker and Palmer. New pitcher on for the Chinooks. It is Steve Wagger from Puget Sound. Is it I think it's Puget Sound, right?
I think so.
I think it's Puget Sound.
Yeah.
The Miners lead it 8-1. Faces Cameron Frost, and the first pitch is a called strike. Steve Wagger. Just finished his junior year. 0-1 to Frost. That hits him in the shoulder.
We've seen quite a few hit by pitches tonight.
I was just thinking that. Sevi Roma was hit last inning.
Now batting your right fielder, number 9.
I'm going to check on this. Billy Arndt was hit in the 6th. I think that's it, but that's 3. That's a lot. Then there were a lot yesterday. Here's Dane Wunderlich. 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Fly ball to left. And that is James Navon who makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Nick Senzel. He is 1 for 3, pair of flyouts, 1 to center, 1 to right, and he's singled in the first. So Steve Wagger, 3-3 with a 4.06 earned run average this past season. Started 11 games, had 2 complete games. Check on Frost, he's back. Gave up 76 hits in 71 innings pitched. Studies business leadership. Also earned 6 varsity letters at West Valley High School in Yakima, Washington. Pitch gets away from Lindsay. The high throw will go into the right center field. Cameron Frost will hustle, move into third. He's there safely. That was a high throw from Lindsay. Count is 2-0 on Nick Senzel. Infield is in. It's 8-1 Miners. Anything on the ground, they're going to check to make sure Frost isn't going home. And if he is, they're going to go for it. Ripped into left field, a base hit. Another run will score. 9-1 Miners. RBI single for Nick Senzel. His second hit. He's 2 for 4. And there is the 10th hit for the Miners.
Now batting your first baseman, number 20, Hunter Simmons.
I'll bring up Hunter Simmons. He's been on twice. He scored once. Walked in the second, walked in the third, struck out in the 5th. Brandon Smith waits on deck. First pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike. Check on Senzel. He's back. Pitch scooped up by Lindsay. No movement for Senzel. One and one, they count on Simmons. Senzel at first. Looking like he might go. He will not. And the pitch is inside. I don't think Hunter Simmons really likes the strike zone of the home plate umpire. This is the third time.
Either.
No, this is the third time we've seen him kind of look away like he doesn't agree. I don't think he's one to argue. One of the nicest guys I've met here.
We talked about that earlier. And he's very patient. He's been walked twice, 1 strikeout.
1-2, a breaking ball. Slowly rolled up the middle. Here comes the shortstop, Altman. He'll throw off balance to first in time. Senzel moves up to second base.
Now batting in left field, number 25, Brandon Smith.
Here is Brandon Smith. He is 2 for 3. He scored twice. Double in the fifth, single in the second. Popped out to second. And in the fourth, he takes strike one. Senzel is on second base with 2 away. Josh Meyer waits on deck. Wagger's pitch. Lifted out to right. Brett Collins moves to his left and makes the catch for out number 3. A run for the Miners. It's 9-1. Matsu leading the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. We'll head to inning number 7 when we come back. Back here in Palmer, the Miners lead the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks 9-1. We head to the top of inning number 7. 9 runs, 10 hits for the Miners. 1 run, 4 hits for Chugiak Eagle River. There's a new pitcher on for the Miners. From Pacific, just finished his freshman year, Vince Arobio. Right-hander, 5'11", 170 pounds for Pacific this past season. 2-1 with a 3.63 earned run average. Pitched 22 1/3 innings, 20 hits, 24 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Mark Lindsay leads things off for Chugiak. As you can see, the sun is still shining. It is 9:03 Alaska time. First pitch from Arobio is high ball 1. And this sun is not going to go down for probably about 3 hours. And then once it goes down, it'll probably be up again in 4 hours. So at around 4 o'clock in the morning. 1-1 on Mark Lindsay. Mark Lindsay from San Francisco State was 1 for 2, scored a run, and had a strikeout yesterday against the Miners. Chopper back to Arobio. Under flips to first, 1 away. Up to the top of the order, Stephen Pollux. He's 0 for 3.
Now batting center fielder number 8, Stephen Pollux.
I do like his last name.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
But it's spelled differently than yours.
that's very true. Mine is also Pollock.
Yes.
His is Pollux with an X. First pitch to Pollux. He waves and misses 0-1. People will either go Pollock or Pollock. And sometimes
see
it's
that.
easier just to, when they say Pollock. Hard grounder, snagged by Simmons. He will have to flip to a Robio. Covers the bag. Nice play.
Great job there by Simmons.
Well, he's really just had a golden glove in these first 2 games for the Miners. Went to his right toward the second base bag, backhanded, and Robio was right off the mound. And was there to cover to make the play. Robio and Hunter Simmons have a nice connection so far this inning. Lindsey grounded back to the pitcher. Pitches inside to James Navant. And then some people also spell my last name Pollock.
Yeah, I could see that too.
That is incorrect.
Well, my last name,
Yeah, that's
Tiedemann, is the correct way. I get Tiedemann a lot, about 95% of the time. Tiedemann. And my favorite one is Teeterman. People like to add an R, and it wasn't like I thought it was an isolated incident, just one time someone added an R. But no, like, people add an R to it all the time. Like, no. But once I say Tiedemann, they're like, oh, okay. It's German, so that's why it has 2 N's at the end. People leave that out.
4-pitch walk to James Navant. That's the 3rd walk for him. He's been on base every time he's been to the plate. Up we got Brett Collins. Collins grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the 5th, flew out to center in the 3rd, walked in the 1st. I was in Spain about maybe almost 2 months to the day. Slap foul, straight back, and one of the, what do they call them? Immigration, what do they call them? Was looking at my passport, and he saw my last name, and he goes, Boyak. I'm like, what? And he goes, Poyak. And my friend had to remind me that the double L in Spanish is not L. It's kind of the Y. I did take Spanish in high school. You can see how much I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Not much. 1-1 the count on Collins. Hard grounder to second base. Nick Senzel flips to second and gets the force there. Still 9-1 Miners. We head for bottom half of inning number 7 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. We'll be right back. Back here in Palmer. Time for the bottom half of inning number 7. Miners lead at 9-1. Steve Wagger is still out there for his second inning of work. He will face 6, 7, and 8, Josh Meyer, Sevi Romo, and Jordan Rogers.
Josh Meyer.
Meyer Singled and scored in the second, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the third, and struck out in the fifth. He fouls one straight back. Almost time. We're getting there. Probably an inning away. Could start nominating a player of the game. Send us a tweet at ABL Miners or send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. The home plate umpire thought about that pitch, but little outside for ball one to Josh Meyer. Haven't received any tweets yet. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Now you can send them in. But I just don't think we're really going to consider them for probably about an inning. That's just me. That's just a guess.
I'll consider them. How about that?
Emma will consider them.
Yes.
We're getting a lot of comments from our viewers just under the live player. 2-2 to Meyer. Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. First strikeout for Steve Wagger. And one away here in the 7th. Couple of them are from what I hear, the broadcasters last summer, they called them the Kyles because they were both Kyle.
Just like the Hunters this year.
Right. They were broadcasters. And there are some things that I don't really understand. I'm going to try to bring those up. The first pitch to Sebi Romo is low. Ball 1. Has respect for us, says Romo. Grounds one foul, third base side. That's one of them. He says, mad respect to you guys. And we certainly appreciate that,
Thank you.
Kyle. He wants to know if Robert is still the bat boy. I don't know.
I haven't met the bat boy.
No, neither have I.
I met the bat boy's father last night. He has a gray, long beard, if that helps.
Okay.
With the
okay.
van. Yeah.
Now I remember.
Long gray beard.
1-1 the count on Romo. Rogers waits on deck. Pitches low, 2-1. Rogers had a big day. He scored twice. Been on base 3 times. 2-1 to Romo. Low, 3-1. Hitters count.
And I just checked the weather to make sure I'm not just being a wuss from Texas.
3-1 is lifted foul. First base side out of play.
But it is 53 degrees right now.
Wow.
So it's a little chilly.
You've got the jacket.
I do have the jacket. I knew it was going to be cold.
I'm not quite as prepared.
I might add some gloves tomorrow, though. My hands are a little cold.
Oh, that might be a stretch.
I don't know. My fingers get cold. I don't know how the players can keep their fingers warm.
Oh, they're running around out there.
But their fingers, I don't know.
Well, Sebi's got batting gloves on. He has a 3-2 count, and he takes ball 4. Brings up Jordan Rogers.
Rogers has had a great evening.
Yes.
Scoring, hitting, running the bases.
He's someone to consider for player of the game.
Definitely.
This could be a tough one. There's a lot of offense, and the pitching wasn't too bad either. Ryan Hendricks had 7 strikeouts. First pitch to Rogers is a called strike. Some breaking action on that pitch. Paul Panachone waits on deck. Rogers, Cameron Frost. Hunter Rodriguez. 0-1. Grounder to the right side. The second baseman, Billy Arndt, can't handle it. Rogers is going to reach. Billy Arndt also had an error yesterday. So now it's first and second with 1 out for Panachone. He singled in the second inning, stole third base, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, and scored, and then flew out to center in the 5th. Now, my scorebook gets very sloppy and very messy because my handwriting's kind of all over the place. First pitch from Wagger is outside, ball 1. Cameron Frost waits on deck. Someone to consider for player of the game. One away. Pitch from Wagger is inside, 2-0.
Miners fans being a little more audible now that the sun's out. It's not drizzling any longer. It's actually a really nice night.
2-0. Lifted out toward deep center. Back goes Stephen Pollux. It will get over his head and roll all the way to the wall. Rounding third, head for home is Sebi Romo. He will score easily. And Ben Taylor will hold Jordan Rogers at third. It's a RBI double for Paul Panachone. And there's run number 10. 10-1 Miners. That one just kept going and going over the head of Stephen Pollux. When we talk about how this team hits the ball in practice, that's legitimate. That's real.
Yeah.
That's not just batting practice. Cameron Frost takes ball 1. Nice stop by Mark Lindsay. Pitch came in the dirt, hit him in the chest, and kind of trickled off to the side. 10 runs and 12 hits for the Miners. 1-0 pitch to Frost is a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 1-1. Dane Wunderlich waits on deck. Corners in. Frost lifts it foul. First base side out of play. The third baseman, Jeff Murphy, is playing in, and the first baseman, Conkle, is as well. And the outfield is straight away. We've talked about the center fielders playing a little bit shallow, but for that ball that Panachone hit, probably wasn't the best idea to be playing shallow there.
Well, and Pollock still seems to be playing a little bit shallow, considering that Frost hit one deep into left center field in the 4th inning, so he can hit top of the batting order. Very strong hitter, but Pollux is still playing somewhat shallow. I wouldn't say anything drastic, but still, the hitter like Frost.
Count is full, 3-2, with first base open. Their two bases are occupied. Panachone at second and Rogers at third. I thought Ben Taylor was going to send Rogers. Probably wise that he did not. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Steve Wagger. There's 2 away. Here is Dane Wunderlich. He struck out in the first, grounded out to second in the second, grounded out to third base in the 4th, and flew out to left in the 6th.
And considering the game he had yesterday, he has yet to reach base this evening.
First pitch breaking ball. That certainly fooled Wunderlich there. 0-1. A 1 pitch, breaking ball, called strike again. Oh, 0-2 with 2 outs. Wunderlich has already struck out today. 0-2. Up high, 1-2. I am getting chilly. I will be honest. 1-2. Popped up in shallow right center. Billy Arndt calls everybody off, makes the catch over his shoulder for out number 3. Paul Panichone drives in. Sebi Romo, the Miners, tack on another one. 10-1 Matsu as we head for inning number 8 here at Herman Brothers Field on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
You notice there's some significant field improvements, and there were a huge number of volunteer hours that went into that, and some special folks who helped make that happen. I want to acknowledge those folks. When they're not, they're still here. I know some of them are, but some of them had to leave. Representative Bill Stokes and Representative Shelley Hughes were both on hand, along with Borough Manager John Moosey, sorry about that. Homer City Manager John Hammond.
Welcome back to Palmer, Alaska. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And getting things started now, the top of the 8th inning. For the Chinooks, Kyle Conkle at the plate. Vince Arobio still on the mound for the Miners. First pitch, right on the edge of the strike zone for strike number 1.
We have officially made Meyer the Miner a hashtag on Twitter.
And what's that? You don't follow us on Twitter, so you don't know what we're talking about?
Follow us at ABL Miners, because it's now the 8th inning, time to nominate a player of the game. Tweet at us at ABL Miners, send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. No dash in Matsu.
Post all sorts of cool stuff. Photos, videos, cool information. Definitely the best place to stay up to date with everything Matsu Miners baseball. 3 balls, 1 strike now to the Chinooks' Kyle Conkle. 3-1 pitch. Swung on for a foul to even the count, or fill the count at 3-2. Job by Arobio battling back after having 3 balls in a row. It's a 3-2 pitch. Inside, and Conkle heads to first base with the walk. Brings up Jackson Kramer, designated hitter. Struck out in the first inning, struck out in the 3rd inning, had a single in the 6th, made it to third base, but was not able to score. The lefty.
We have 1 vote for player of the game. We will not reveal who it is. It's part of the
the suspense.
Well, you'll see it though.
I'll see it.
It's part of the suspense and the excitement.
Was it an email or a tweet?
It was, I don't know. It was not neither. It was a comment on the comment section below the live feed.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say we won't reveal it because
I guess everyone
can see it.
Ground ball up to first base side. Runners advance. Conkle to second. Kramer with another single. Chinooks not going away yet. Billy Arndt, the second baseman, struck out in the first inning, struck out in the third, and was hit by a pitch in the sixth. These strikeouts in the early innings, kind of a trend with the Chinooks. There are a lot of Ks on my score sheet right now.
Yeah, mine too.
Funny.
Mine too. I think we're calling the same game. That might be why.
Oh yeah,
Just a guess.
that's probably it. One ball, no strike, as Billy Arndt fouls it back behind us, probably into the concession stand. Runners on first and second. The Miners still lead 10-1 over the Chinooks.
11 strikeouts for Miner pitching.
So the bats have been good and the pitching has been great.
Everything's been good.
Yeah. Off the glove of Arobio, but Senzel able to scoop it up. Quick toss to Simmons. And that's the first out of the inning, even though the runners do advance to second and third. Conkle on third now. Kramer at second. That was just a good backup there for Nick Senzel. Quick toss to Simmons. It's out number one, bringing up Josh Altman. Shortstop. He is 0 for 3, has been struck out every at-bat. But those, of course, have been with different pitchers. First pitch by Robio is a ball. The 1-0 pitch. A little low. Meyer the Miner giving Conkle on third base kind of the stare down. Conkle was hoping it was a wild pitch, but Meyer scooped it up and kind of gave him the stink eye. Keeping an eye on him. It's the 2-0 pitch by Robio. Swung on, foul ball down the first base line for strike number 1.
You know, we had a heater in here.
Yeah, but we took it out because it gets hot up here.
I'm cold.
I know. We didn't factor in the window being open. The 2-1 pitch swung on by Altman, and it's fouled back for a 2-2 count. He came around, and you could tell he second-guessed it as soon as he swung. Tried to pull back with the ball. The pitch was high, so it hit his bat, and regret. I could just sense it up here. Count now 2-2, 1 out. The pitch swung on into the glove of Jordan Rogers at short. Toss across the field to Simmons for out number 2. Not before, though, a run scores. Conkle able to just jog into home plate. And Jackson Kramer, who's on second, makes it to third. That's 2 outs now. Nick Cabello now at the plate for Eagle River. Swung on straight back to Robio at the mound. And another nice little throw over to Simmons, and that ends the inning. But 1 run does score for Chugiak as we head to the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Miners Radio Network.
Northwest Regional Council of Carpenters and Carpenters Union Local 1281. Also want to thank the sponsors of the Matson Miners Travel, Alaska Airlines, and the official sponsor of Matson Miners Internet Broadcast, Napa Auto Parts of Alaska. I would also encourage you to check out the daily food specials they have at the Mugshot Food, the Palma Bar, and the Panhandle Bar. Those are your official sponsors of Matson Miners Full Pass. Hey, if you bought a program, check out inside that front cover on that first page. There's a number stamp If this is your number in your program, you want a prize. Go to the beer shack, claim it 140.
Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. The bottom of the 8th inning, Nick Senzel leading things off with a ground ball to third and scooped up by Murphy, at third, and has no problem throwing to first base for the first out of the inning, bringing up Hunter Simmons. Hunter Simmons could possibly be a player of the game nomination.
Definitely.
He's had a great night on both sides of the ball. He was walked in the second, but scored a run. Walked in the third. So first pitch is into the dirt. Walked in the third. Was struck out in the fifth. Grounded out in the sixth, but has been doing some great work at first base. Had a great grab on a ground ball that was up the first base side. Pitch, strike. And he's been doing a great job, even though it's obvious he doesn't really agree with the calls the umpire has been making.
That is for sure.
So it's something that can really get into your head, mentally. Check swing there, but it'll stay as a ball. Something that can get in your head thinking, well, I don't like the strike zone he's calling. But he's been handling it well, being patient. Able to reach base 2 out of the 4 times. 3 balls, 1 strike, swung on, fouled back. We have the official attendance for the game, 596 people tonight.
Not bad.
No, considering at the start it was cold and rainy. Opening day. Swung on ground ball to Billy Arndt
Nice
at
play.
second base. Scoops it up first. Second out of the game. Of the inning.
Nice play.
As Hunter Simmons heads back to the dugout, Brandon Smith takes the plate. Playing left field this evening. Had a single in the second. Able to run around and score a run off of that. Had 2 flyouts in the 3rd and 6th innings, but a big double in the 5th. Able to score off of that too. So has scored both times he's reached base. First pitch is a ball. Second swung on for foul. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. It's the pitch. A little low and inside for ball number 2. Chinooks not making any special adjustments in the outfield for Smith as swings on an outside ball. Strike number 2. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Oh, I think I know who our player of the game is.
Swung on, scoops it up by Murphy, but not before. Murphy kind of waits for it to see if it'll go foul first, but waits too long, and Smith is able to get on base for a single. We have a new nomination.
Attendance for 596.
Now batting your catcher, number 24, Josh Meyer.
New nomination for player of the game? Or is this your own?
I like what everybody else is saying.
I don't
agree
know
with
what
you.
everyone else is saying.
You gotta look.
I know.
We'll check in between innings.
First pitch to Meyer the Miner. He
That's
should-
catching on.
To be
It's
our
catching on.
first unofficial player of the game is, Josh Meyer the Miner. Just because of his name. First pitch to him is a strike. This one's in the dirt. But Brandon Smith decides to just casually walk back to first base.
With an 8-run lead, I would expect Ben Taylor to make a couple changes in his lineup, but nothing yet.
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on right between Altman and Murphy, the second and shortstop. And that's a single for Meyer, the Miner.
Meyer the Miner. He's had himself a pretty good day, 2 for 3.
Brandon Smith.
2 for 5, sorry.
Now batting your
Smith advances to second, which the pitcher at the time and the second baseman aren't. Try to get Smith out 3 different times. Try to check him for leading off, but each time Smith able to get back to second base in time. Brings up Sevi Romo, the designated hitter. First pitch to him is a strike. He struck out and has grounded out, but he was walked the last 2 times at bat. Another strike for Romo. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th, walked in the 7th, but was able to score a run in both instances when he was on base. But now he's down in the count 0-2. Swung on, high fly ball to shallow field, and first baseman Conkle elects to take it behind the back to end the inning. No runs scored for the Miners as we head into the 9th inning. You're listening to Miners Radio Network.
reminder, folks, about the upcoming schedule for your Miners. My wife looked at the schedule last night at Chugiak, tonight here, tomorrow night Chugiak, Wednesday night here, same teams. You figured only man was come up with that schedule. Tomorrow night.
Welcome back to Palmer, Alaska. We head into the 9th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Miners, Spencer Jack, out of Los Angeles, California. He will be pitching to Mark Lindsay of the Chinooks. First pitch is fouled back by Lindsay. Oh, 1 count. Miners still lead 10-2. Spencer Jack, the right-handed pitcher. Pitch right on the edge of the strike zone for strike number 2. Pitcher's count now.
Spencer Jack, the right-hander from the University of Kentucky. He was at the regionals. Bit of an early exit for the Wildcats. 6'3", 215 pounds. This year, 4-1 with a 1.16 earned run average. He didn't appear in the regionals. Opponents hit 204 against him.
2-2 count now. Thrown two pitches a little bit inside. I think some fans thought that last one was inside the strike zone, but will remain as a ball. This is a 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Short fly ball just over the infield. Dane Wunderlich in right field catches it on his bounce, but that advances Mark Lindsay to first base for a single off of Spencer Jack.
Spencer Jack has some pretty good control. 8 walks and 38 2/3 innings pitched. So 31 strikeouts in 38 2/3.
Back to the top of the batting order was Stephen Pollux of the Chinooks.
Great last name. Even though it's only close to mine.
First pitch is a strike by Jack. This one just catches the corner. Ball number 1.
It's getting cold in here. Like really cold.
The 1-1 pitch. This time inside for ball 2.
I'm not shivering yet, but I'm getting there.
Two one. Swung on and it just rips a foul ball down the first base side. Kind that would really hurt someone in the fans.
I think so.
But I don't think
it went out of. I think it stayed.
Yeah.
Inside the fence.
That's good, because there are people standing over there. Next pitch. Ball again. Now full count for Spencer Jack. 3-2.
Pollux can hit. He had 9 home runs for Westmont College this past season. 42 RBIs. Started every game and hit .316.
3-2 pitch. High fly ball down the first base side, and this will go foul also. Wunderlich quick to chase it down, but he runs into the fence before he can catch the ball.
Pollux also, he's kind of a little guy. 5'11", 205. But you can't underestimate the little guys. One of my favorite players, Dustin Pedroia, he's, who knows, 5'8".
That's inside for ball 4 for Pollux. Brings up James Navant playing left field this evening. He has been walked 3 times and had a double in the 3rd. So, patient batter. Somewhat similar to Hunter Simmons on the Miners.
It's a good comparison, actually. I'd call that just about perfect, actually.
Except that Navant is an outfielder and Simmons is an infielder as he pops this one right over the infield and is able to get a single, loading the bases. Simmons has not had a single this evening, so that's where they differ. Navant broke my comparison. Brett Collins now ready at the plate, right fielder. He was walked in the first, but has ground out past 2 times at bat. His first pitch is a ball. Second pitch is a hard fly ball down the first base side and is just foul by about 2 feet. So close call there. The runners go back to their bases. These left-handed batters are having a kind of a tough time keeping the ball within the playing field against Spencer Jack. They keep hitting them in just about the same spot for foul balls. But a lot of power.
Miners fans wanted that one.
They do not agree with that call, but makes the count 2 balls, 1 strike. No outs yet. The 2-1 pitch. And that's a strike on the outside corner.
Big strike for Spencer Jack. He really needs an out here.
Bases are loaded, no outs.
I mean, the Miners are up by 8, but once you start scoring runs, you gain a little motivation and momentum just to keep going.
That's inside for ball 3. Definitely doesn't want to walk in a run. That's outside for ball 4. And that brings in Mark Lindsay for a run. Stephen Pollux goes to third. James Navant to second. And Brett Collins takes his base at first.
Now batting first baseman number 24, Kyle Conkle.
Kyle Conkle, the first baseman, now at the plate. He had 2 singles in the first and third innings, grounded out in the 6th, and walked in the 8th, but was able to score a run. Miners lead 10-3 over the Chinooks. Top of the 9th inning. First pitch by Jack. Strike 1.
Now, this also may be weird to say, but it feels like it's getting a little dark. It's not.
No.
I know it's not. That's for sure, but that sun has gone down. Or, actually, the clouds are just covering it.
Yeah.
The sun doesn't go down here.
A new kind of cloud cover. Another foul ball ripped down the first base line.
Spencer Jack, I think, would really love a strikeout here. Or just a ground ball.
Any sort of out, I think.
Triple play?
Oh, man.
I have never seen one.
Really?
Never.
I think
Not even watching a game.
the Cardinals, I think, had one earlier last week. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, fouled back.
Well,
And just in case that foul ball hit your car windshield, be sure to call Napa Auto Parts. Locations in Palmer, Wasilla, and Big Lake, excuse me. Swung on, deep ball down the left field, off the top of the wall, and Smith is able to catch it. But 2 runs score. And that's a double for Conkle.
he crushed that.
He really did. He got all of that.
He really did. That's 5 straight men to reach base for the Chinooks. Still nobody out, and it's 10-5. I think Brad Baker is looking to come out and talk with Spencer Jack. He's going to make his way out.
The whole infield is going to come in and meet with Spencer Jack.
Oh, a pinch hitter for Kramer. It is Griffith Rourke.
It looks like John Boyer is getting warm in the bullpen. Yep, that is John Boyer.
John Boyer,
Yep.
local boy from Wasilla, about 20 minutes from here, went to Colony High School. He's close friends with Kevin Christopher, son of Pete and Denise. And since he's local, and he was around here before any of the other guys, I got to know him a little bit, and we actually planted some flowers together. That was kind of cool.
First pitch to Kramer is a strike. Still no outs. 3 runs have been scored in the top of this ninth. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing, but it's a strike. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, and it's a right over the infield. Brandon Smith left scoops it up. And another 2-run score. And that's a single for Kramer. So now the Chinooks are having a 5-run inning, ninth inning. Just like the Miners did yesterday.
Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 21st. Pancake breakfast from 9 to 12:30. You won't want to miss that. And the following Saturday, free yoga at the ballpark with Midnight Sun Yoga by Matthew Myers at 10 o'clock. Your yoga outfit, or at the very least, your cameras.
First pitch to Billy Arndt is a foul down the first base side. Jackson Kramer at first.
Just 1 out.
Swung on for strike number 2. Oh, I guess they're ruling that as a foul. Miners still lead 10-7 at the top of this ninth. Pitch swung on, scooped up by Panichon. Possible double play. Gets him at first. And the game is over. Or not quite.
There was not 1 out.
There was not 1 out. So now 2 outs. The game is almost over, possibly for the Miners.
Almost.
Josh Altman at the plate. 0 for 4. Grounded out to short at his last at bat in the 8th. Little inside for ball 1. One 0 pitch, swung on, fouled back. Strike number 1. Altman has yet to reach base. He fouls another one back for strike 2. Spencer Jack probably thinking he wants to end this game and end his time on the mound with a strikeout. Another foul. One-two count. Nobody on. 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Miners lead 10-7. Here's the pitch. Swung on straight to Nick Senzel at second base. Catches it, and now the game is over with the Miners winning their first game at Herman Brothers Field. So the Miners come out to Herman Brothers now with 2 straight wins. And we've seen great things from pitching and hitting from the Miners the past 2 days, especially tonight with the pitching. But do we have a player of the game?
We do, and we will unveil, or not unveil, but reveal our player of the game during the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts when we return in just a little bit. Once again, the final score, the Miners defeat the Chinooks 10-7. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, Austin Pog with Emma Tiemann. We are joined now by our player of the game, Jordan Rogers. Jordan, great game for you and a great team win. How's it been these last 2 days playing with these guys?
It's been unbelievable. I think the potential has been shown. Our pitching staff's great. We haven't had any errors yet. We're hitting the ball. We put up, I think, 13 or 14 hits today, and the sky's the limit for this team for sure.
Talk about your play today. A little bit rough yesterday, but today just a much better day. What were you feeling?
Yeah, I just felt, first day, pitching seemed kind of fast or whatever. I wasn't seeing it very well, and today I felt very comfortable. Early work with BT. He helped make some adjustments, and I just felt comfortable out there today.
And you've had some great plays also playing at third base. You say you play infield also. How's the field been? Because we've heard these Alaska Leagues kind of fields, you can get some odd hops out of the ball. How has it been feeling out there in third?
The first day of practice, it was pretty rough out there. Something messed up with the sod, so they had to redo it in 1 week. But Pete got a new sod out there, and I haven't had any bad hops at all. It's been playing perfectly, and just feel comfortable out there.
Tomorrow, the Chinooks again, and then Wednesday, the Chinooks again. What are you looking to do tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night?
Just stick with my approach, and we just want to, of course, win again, and we feel like we've been playing well and just trying to keep it rolling and just trying to make some plays and keep seeing the ball as well as I can.
All right, Jordan Rogers, thank you very much for joining us on the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Good game, and we'll see you later.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
We'll be right back on the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Welcome back into the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Again, the Miners defeat the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks by a final score of 10-7. 5-run ninth. But other than that, the offense was really just fantastic, a great performance. And we are now joined by head coach Ben Taylor on the Matsu Miners post-game show. Coach, certainly just a good game offensively. What do you think you saw from everybody? I mean, it looked like everyone really contributed well.
Yeah, guys are getting comfortable, getting their at-bats, having good at-bats. For the most part, swinging the right pitches, taking the right pitches, and getting comfortable with each other as teammates.
Ryan Hendricks, 3 innings, 3 hits, had 7 strikeouts, and that really just seemed like he was really comfortable out there.
Yeah, he sat 90-92, touched a couple of 94s. The breaking ball was really good. First inning was not really as bad as it probably seemed or looked. A lot of things going on with guys getting to know each other as pitcher-catcher relationship. Yeah, he's going to be a good one.
And Hunter, pitched very well in relief as well.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I saw Hunter a bunch as a high school kid from Phoenix, and was really excited when we were able to get him, and it's nice to see a kid do so well.
Then on the other side of the ball, hitting. It seemed like every player just about scored a run or two. Jordan Rogers we deemed as our player of the game. Got on base every single time he was at bat, and it seemed like there was just about an equal number of walks as there were hits. Was that patient batting or pitching?
Yeah, it is. It's patient hitting. It's guys taking what they're given and not expanding their zone, evaluating the guys hitting before them, and not giving in to pitching. So it's a really good job. Proud of the guys.
And who do you send to the mound tomorrow night?
Who does pitch tomorrow? Morris.
Okay.
Morris goes tomorrow.
All right, what are you looking to get out of him?
3 innings, 60 pitches.
Is that kind of what you've been going with, just 3 innings for these first 4 games?
We're trying to get everybody mound time. Medium stretched out, and just get everybody acclimatized.
All right, that is Taylor's take on the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Coach, thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
And we'll wrap things up here. Once again, the final score, 10-7. The Miners beat the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks for the second straight night. They've now taken 2 in a row, and there's still 2 more games to play tomorrow night against the Chinooks at Loretta French Field, 7 o'clock. Be with us at around 6:45 Alaska time for the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Once again, the final score, the Matsu Miners defeat the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks by a final score of 10-7. Thank you very much for tuning in.